Wasted career? That's what some people whisper about Kevin Ratcliffe, the man who once captained Everton through their golden years, now remembered by many for controversy and stubborn pride rather than his incredible achievements. But how did the most successful captain in Everton history go from leading European triumphs to walking away from football management completely disillusioned? This is the story of a warrior who conquered everything, yet lost himself along the way. Kevin Ratcliffe joined Everton as a teenage apprentice in June 1977. His senior debut came on the 12th of March 1980, aged just 19, against Manchester United at Old Trafford. He successfully contained the fearsome Joe Jordan, helping Everton to a hard-fought draw. But this promising start didn't translate into regular first-team football. For 2 frustrating years, Ratcliffe found himself playing out of position at left-back, often benched entirely. His preferred spot was centre-half, where he knew he belonged. The constant disappointment ate away at him. By 1982, fed up with sporadic appearances and being played in the wrong position, he handed in a transfer request. Manager Howard Kendall reluctantly agreed to put him on the market. Ipswich Town boss Bobby Robson was keen to sign the young defender, recognising his talent despite him being misused. But fate intervened. A series of injuries forced Kendall to finally play Ratcliffe at centre-back in 1982. The transformation was instant. Within months, he had cemented his place in the heart of Everton's defence. By December 1983, at the remarkable age of 23, he was appointed club captain. Just 3 months later, he was given the Wales captaincy too. Ratcliffe possessed a rare combination of attributes that made him devastating. He had blistering pace, described as one of the fastest central defenders ever to play football. Legend has it, he challenged the entire Everton first team to a sprint race and won. There were even stories of him claiming victory over Olympic champion Linford Christie. But speed was just one weapon in his arsenal. He combined immense strength, unwavering bravery, natural leadership, and what teammates called ferocious tackling ability. His physical presence alone intimidated opponents. Yet it was his reading of the game that elevated him from tough defender to complete player. As captain, Ratcliffe presided over Everton's most successful period. By age 24, he was already the club's most decorated skipper. Under his leadership, Everton won the FA Cup in 1984, the European Cup Winners' Cup in 1985, and 2 Football League Championships in 1905 and 1907. They also reached 3 other FA Cup finals. Throughout his Everton career, he made 461 appearances and scored 2 goals, including a memorable 40-yard strike against Liverpool at Anfield. His contributions were formally recognised in 2003 when he was inducted as an Everton Giant. But Ratcliffe's career wasn't without controversy. In 1981, he received a red card for headbutting Tommy Hutchison during an FA Cup quarter-final against Manchester City. This early incident wasn't a one-off, but showed the aggressive edge that would define his playing style. The most infamous moment came in 1989 during a heated match against Wimbledon. After Vinnie Jones made a late tackle on Graham Sharp, Ratcliffe steamed forward to confront him. Jones brushed his head forward in what appeared to be a headbutt, causing Ratcliffe to go down theatrically. Years later, the truth emerged. Jones claimed in his autobiography that his head barely touched Ratcliffe's and that the Everton captain had feigned contact to get him sent off. This was later confirmed by Graham Sharp in his own book, where he admitted both he and Ratcliffe exaggerated the contact to get Jones dismissed. This incident revealed a calculated side to Ratcliffe's toughness. It wasn't just about physical confrontation, but psychological warfare and tactical gamesmanship. While controversial, it showed his willingness to bend rules for his team's advantage. In 1988, disaster struck. Ratcliffe sustained a hernia injury that profoundly affected his most valuable asset, his blistering pace. He later admitted he was never the same player after the injury. The recovery took 9 months and was mentally devastating. He described undertaking 12-minute runs before training as mentally demoralising, often sleeping for hours afterwards due to exhaustion. The injury forced him to adapt his game significantly. Approaching 30 and having lost his speed, he had to rely more on positioning and experience. Though he continued playing for several more years, he knew something fundamental had been lost. By 1991, tensions within Everton were rising. During a tense period, Ratcliffe made a controversial decision that would define his stubborn character. He refused to play sweeper in an FA Cup 5th round replay against Liverpool after being overlooked for the role in a previous match. This defiant act came from feeling slighted and demonstrated his unwillingness to compromise his professional pride. While it showed admirable self-belief, it also highlighted how personal ego could override team needs during difficult periods. Ratcliffe left Everton in 1992 after 12 incredible years. He had brief spells at Dundee, Cardiff City, Nottingham Forest, Derby County and Chester City before retiring in 1995. None of these moves recaptured the magic of his Everton days. His transition into management began at Chester City in 1994. Initially player assistant manager, he took full control in 1995. His tenure was marked by financial chaos. He reportedly drew £5,000 from his own bank account to pay the club's water bill when their cheques were refused. Despite his efforts to instill professionalism, Chester's problems persisted. Unpaid wages and financial instability made management incredibly difficult. He stayed until 1999 before falling out with the new ownership. In November 1999, Ratcliffe joined Shrewsbury Town as manager. The highlight was a stunning FA Cup victory over his former club Everton in January 2003, but it couldn't mask underlying problems. Shrewsbury were relegated to the Conference after 53 years in the Football League. Ratcliffe left within days, taking full responsibility. These management experiences left him disillusioned with modern football. He observed players becoming more and more difficult to deal with and wielding way too much power. Traditional disciplinary measures like fines became less effective as wages increased dramatically. This shift in dynamics, coupled with football's increasing commercialisation, prompted him to step away from management entirely. The 7-day-a-week commitment and constant battles with player power wore him down completely. Ratcliffe found a new outlet with BBC Wales, where he works today as a pundit. This role satisfies his need to stay connected to football without the demanding pressures of management. However, his commentary often reflects his old-school values and critical view of modern football's direction. He frequently criticises how international caps are awarded today, believing they're given away too cheaply. He feels players receive caps on the back of nothing really, and disapproves of FA Cup semi-finals being played at Wembley, arguing it makes the experience too easy for modern players. These views reflect someone who achieved greatness in a different era, when respect for authority was paramount and achievements felt more meaningful. While some consider his opinions controversial, they come from genuine passion for maintaining football's integrity and traditional values. Today, at 64, Kevin Ratcliffe lives quietly with his wife and 3 children. His Twitter presence is minimal, and he rarely seeks the spotlight beyond his BBC Wales duties. It's a stark contrast to the warrior who once led Everton to European glory. Looking back, Ratcliffe's story isn't one of waste, but of complexity. Yes, his stubborn pride sometimes worked against him. Yes, his controversial moments tainted his reputation. But these same qualities, the unwavering determination, the refusal to compromise, the fierce loyalty, made him the leader who guided Everton through their greatest era. His post-playing disillusionment doesn't diminish his achievements. If anything, it shows a man who cared deeply about football's soul and couldn't adapt when that soul changed. In an age of social media and manufactured personalities, there's something refreshingly authentic about his uncompromising honesty. Kevin Ratcliffe remains an Everton legend, a Welsh icon, and a reminder of when football was different. His legacy isn't tragic, it's triumphant. He conquered everything worth conquering, stayed true to his principles, and walked away when those principles were challenged. That's not a wasted career. That's the story of a man who knew exactly who he was and never apologised for it. In today's football world, that might be the greatest achievement of all.